Today I'm going to be making some evil Among Us characters out of polymer clay. Quite a few of you guys wanted me to make these.
Please make Among Us. Please, can you do Among Us?
So we'll see how it goes. This time I decided not to make these out of Tic Tacs. You never realize how tiny a Tic Tac is until you try sculpting on one. So instead today I'll just be using polymer clay. For the most part, I'll be using colored clay, and then if I need to add any little details on there, I could just paint those on later.
So,
who am I gonna make? I figured I'd start with a Redhead. Wanted you guys to be able to see the devil in all his glory. I saw this picture, which I thought was pretty cool, so I thought about giving him a suit to make him look like a classy Lucifer, but I kinda just like the basic all-red devil.
Simplicity is key.
I feel like he stands out way more this way. I just wanted him to pop. By the way, I haven't played Among Us. I've just seen some gameplays of it, so this is based off of the skins I've seen online, so just bear with me. I tried picking the more evil looking skins because the creepy factor just really adds something to the characters. Gives them that extra
oomph.
Or maybe not.
Maybe that's just me.
So I started off
Basic enough.
Setting the bar low.
But for this next one, I really wanted to
Up the ante.
I really wanted to
Challenge myself.
I wanted to... Well, you get the point. So I decided to make the Plague Doctor. You know, the doctors who treated victims in epidemics in like the 14th century. We all know who plague doctors were.
No one's learning anything new here.
To be honest, I was kinda scared about making this one because I didn't know how it would turn out. He has some very tiny details like his top hat. Not sure why doctors don't wear those anymore. I feel like we need to bring those back.
So.
And then there's this beak-looking thing. I guess that's supposed to be a mask?
Maybe?
I don't even know.
He also wears some red goggles, which... might look a little familiar. At this point, some of you, or realistically none of you, might be wondering if I'm a doctor. To which I'd have to say,
No.
like I've said before, I'm the new professor of the dark arts and crafts. And in case the Plague Doctor didn't kill enough people for your taste, I also made Jason Voorhees, the psycho serial killer from the Friday the 13th series. He always wears this hockey mask, so that's what I'm making here. It took me 3 tries to get it right. The first one was just too textured. I tried smoothing it out, but eventually I just gave up and started over. For the second one, the eyes came out a
Bit crooked.
I do kinda like the wonky look sometimes, but that's not what I'm going for, so I scratched that one too. At this point, I didn't even know what I was doing anymore. I'm just doing what feels right, and lo and behold...
Third time's a charm.
Or at least, as good as it's gonna get.
Perfect.
Love it.
Moving on. I figured I should also make one of these a dead body, one that's been sliced in half. So I did. I made a body, and then I cut it in half.
Just casually dead.
I added some blood and a bone sticking out of it. That turned out adequate.
So far, so good.
By the way, if you're new here, you should consider
Selling your soul to me.
by subscribing to my channel. Don't think too much.
Just do it.
And don't forget to hit that bell icon and select all so you don't lose me on the internet.
Forever.
I post new videos.
Every Friday.
Anyways.
I then attempted to make a chef. Yes, I made some questionable choices. I don't know what I was thinking.
What does a chef have to do with the dark side?
I don't know, maybe he'll poison your food or something.
Whatever makes you happy.
I admit a chef isn't really
Evil.
but a chef makes food, and who doesn't like food?
Right?
So I decided I'm going to make a white character and give him a white chef's hat. I don't know if it was the lack of color contrast or if the chef's hat was too big or too skinny. I couldn't really put my finger on it. All I knew is that I wasn't liking it.
I hate it.
I cut down the chef's hat to make it shorter, but ew, still wasn't quite working. In fact, I think I might have made it worse. I tried going in and adding some more texture to the hat, but I just wasn't really satisfied with that either.
Why can't something go right for once?
In the end, I decided to scrap this idea. I'm not making the chef anymore.
You're kinda gross.
He was looking way too repulsive, so he went
In the trash.
Yes, I was sad. In fact, I was heartbroken.
But wait, there's more.
Irregardless,
That's not a word.
Irregardless,
Of all my past failures, I persisted. I did try using the white body
Again.
because, you know, that worked out so well the first time. I guess I was still holding on to the belief that
Miracles happen.
I decided that this time I'll just stick Jason's machete in his head.
yes.
That'll do the trick. So it sounded like I had a great plan,
Right?
Wrong.
because that was also a huge disappointment. The machete looked like a foam sword, or maybe the sword was just too big or too textured. I couldn't figure that out either. I'm getting kinda rusty. After the third, fourth, fifth try, at some point you just gotta come to terms with the fact that
This just isn't working.
so after many, many attempts of trying to make him look good, I decided that white just wasn't my color. I decided to take things in a slightly different direction. That's when I completely scrapped him and set my sights on a much better option.
Purple.
But first, you get back where you belong. I figured that would be a safe bet.
How could anyone possibly go wrong with purple?
After sculpting the guy and then the knife, I just jammed it right into his head. Up!
Dance party time.
This time around, I was a bit happier with the results. Sorry,
I got a little excited.
I guess the lesson here is you can't ever go wrong with purple. In fact, I loved him so much, I decided to give him a little purple pet.
A tiny little fetus.
For the pumpkin guy, I decided to go with a brown body. I'm hoping that this one will be a bit easier and much more smooth sailing.
Please, please, please.
Let this work out. I think most of the characters that I chose to make are Halloween skins. I've really been feeling the seasonal vibes lately.
It's still summertime here, hee hee. I live in the desert. It's always summer.
Come on.
You've just gotta throw leaves in the air and pretend it's fall. Maybe put some pumpkins
Around your cactus.
Anyways, for the pumpkin guy's hat, I made a round ball of clay and then I had to hollow it out with my ball tool. I did go in and add some indents to make it look more like a pumpkin. After giving him the pumpkin top hat, I added some black triangles for his eyes, but I feel like his eyes are actually supposed to be more like carved in, like a jack-o'-lantern. So I tried gouging those in.
Which is actually pretty brutal.
I didn't like the way they looked though, so I'm just going to paint those on later. So far it's turning out
Okay.
It's not half bad.
I think I can make it work once I make a few changes after it's
Baked.
So next I wanted to make a little green character with a witch's hat. Does that remind you of anyone?
No.
Well, if it doesn't, that means you probably haven't watched my doll makeover video. Okay, so it looks like these are all the ones we
Bet you
could
can't find
possibly get.
me.
That's me.
Well, why not?
You know you want to. Anyway, I purposefully made the body green for this one in honor of my tutu-wearing witch.
That's right, I planned that.
I thought about giving it the same pointy nose, but I thought that would be going a little bit too far. I made my witch's hat a bit more swirly than it's supposed to be because...
There's no rules.
Or maybe there are, but that's not what matters. We're just gonna pretend they're more like...
Guidelines.
Sorry if that bothers you. I just prefer my witch's hats with...
Curves in all the right places.
One of the Halloween skins was a paper bag over your head option.
Seems like a low-effort costume.
I like it. Not sure if it's lazy or genius. I made a blue body for him. I tried to give each of the characters different color bodies. I wanted there to be a variety.
Colors, shapes, and sizes of all kinds.
For the paper bag itself, I mixed two different kinds of brown. The bag ended up being a bit glittery. In fact, I got glitter all over my hands, so that's
Lovely.
perfect. Just what I needed. I feel like the sparkle butts have cursed me. Next thing you know, I'll be painting everything in pastel colors.
Oh no, spare me the horror.
Actually, you know what? I think I might do that. I didn't make the bag completely flat. I tried going for more of a realistic paper bag look.
I don't know, just go with it.
I didn't paint the face on the bag yet. I'm gonna add that in after it's done baking. For my final character, I decided I was going to make a pink guy with bat wings.
Nothing too crazy.
I figured that this would be a nice and simple character to finish things off. But things kinda went south. I made the pink guy, who already looked a bit textured, and then I added the wings onto his head. The wings were crazy tiny and really frustrating. I tried working on it, but it was a lost cause. Another one of the ones that I gave up on. Quite a few casualties today.
That's okay.
I then baked them and added the faces and final touches. I did realize that my Fall Guys made out of Tic Tacs video was the most unhelpful video it could possibly be because I forgot to tell you how long to bake them. Learning from my mistakes, I suggest you bake these ones for about 15 minutes at 230 degrees Fahrenheit.
Cookies for everyone who likes and comments on this video. Is that sweet enough for you, Becky?